Hello, hello, I'm the official name raider. My hair is stuck to my microphone. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at Zangoos's arch nemesis, who I name my Zangoose, Seviper. Alright, so you want to know a fun thing? When I was 10 years old, I got a toy snake, and do you know what I named it? Serpentine. Serpentina is about the same wavelength of creativity. A 10-year-old thinks that up. Except I thought of Serpentine, which is better than Tina, because it's just not necessary. And fuck you. Blade, Blade is that person you name because you want them to be cool, and then they end up getting bullied in school. Yeah, it says Hacker, no. Venom Boa, no. Basilisk. Honestly, I'm kind of getting a resentment towards the word Basilisk because I see it every single time we cover a snake Pokemon, and the Pokemon's never a fucking Basilisk. Like, I named my Houndoom Golden Retriever. It's just not that good of a nickname. Sorry, Harry Potter, you ruined Basilisk for me. You introduced it to me, and now everyone beat it into the ground. Lucifer, I think this is probably, out of all of the ones suggested, the least crap. I don't really have too much extra to say on it. It's okay. And then Avenger, we talked about, I believe it was in the Zangoose episode. There's nothing wrong with it. It's totally fine as well. I don't know if I commented on this, but I thought Nagini was something more mythical or whatever. But when I looked into it, it was just tied to Harry Potter and Harry Potter alone. So there's another very, 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 very popular snake nickname that you're going to see on just about everything. If it suits your fancy, whatever. I personally just don't care for it. Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail. We talked about this during Ekans as well. It's fine. I don't really care for it otherwise. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving. I just want to acknowledge the joke and that's it. Do I think it's a good nickname? No, not really. I just wanted to put that in your head, so now you can't ever listen to that song without thinking of Seviper ever again. Cyanide I'm okay with, not bad sounding, pretty nice Metallica song. Yeah, you could throw it into other poison types if you wanted to, but I just felt like acknowledging this one. I don't know what film he heard it from, but Ceres is two things. One, the snake boy inside of Super Metroid, and two, a city in France. So I'm gonna let it pass just because, you know, you could throw it onto Seviper's Snake in Super Metroid, but I mean, I think if you wanted to do that route, something like Gyarados or Milotic would be a better option. A reminder that Basil is not short for Basilisk. Basil is a seasoning. Fuck off. Solid Snake, we see Metal Gear jokes all the time. It's whatever, nothing extra to say about it. Severus is at least a little bit different, because there's plenty of Harry Potter and Slytherin things, but I don't really see Severus all that often. Personally, I don't think it's that great of a name, but that's just on the level of it being a name. But if you wanted to and you like the name, sure. I have a question for you guys. What would you consider Team Rocket, Jesse and James' signature Pokemon? I think the two default options are going to be Meowth and Wobbuffet, because those two have been around the longest. But Arbok and Weezing, I feel like could be argued because they were the first, and they showed up in Pokemon Yellow using those as well, so you could argue that. I don't know, it's just interesting and definitely a generational thing. If you wanted to name it after Jesse's Seviper, sure, that's cool. Another case of the original Seviper voice was much better than what they fucking ruined it with in the Battle Frontier Onwards arc. I'm sorry, I hate the new voice actors, they're just not as good. Alright, well this is sort of topical. There's an episode of the Hoenn arc where it said, what Pokemon does Arbok evolve into? And it said Seviper. And I audibly screamed and said, fuck you, you lied to me, no wonder I was confused. I think everybody thought Seviper was an Arbok evolution for it not to be. And then the dumbass anime told you it was. But if you wanted to do that little joke of its name backwards, sure, whatever. I remember when I was like 8, not 8. Hoenn wasn't out by then. I would have been like 12. I think my mind went to like Repiv or whatever because it's Viper backwards. But yeah, sure, if you wanted to. I don't think it's that great, but if you don't care. They spelled Slytherin wrong, but I think Slytherin's a fine choice. If I had to pick a snake to give Slytherin to, it'd be Serperior because it's green. But, yeah, if you wanted to. We'll acknowledge these two together. Medusa, snake hair lady, slithers. I talked about that in a previous episode as well. There was an episode of Simpsons making fun of Harry Potter. Mr. Burns' Smithers was instead a snake named Slithers. That's the only reason that one gets a small pass. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's just what it makes me think of. Okay, so I've reached the bottom. Things are a little weird because I spent probably about 10 minutes just trying to load up that stupid Destiny's Child joke because my voice mod was being dumb. Spreadsheet, empty, nothing there. Blows my mind, it always does every single time there is nothing there. Going over things that weren't mentioned in the episode that I saw in previous ones, really was just Randy Orton. I saw that and I laughed and I hated it and I was like, this is stupid. Randy Orton has the nickname, and he's kept this nickname for about 10 years now, of the Viper. So Seviper, Randy Orton, is just kind of funny to me, and it fits. I also kind of hate in wrestling where they have one character take on multiple nicknames because fuck you, they don't really need that. That's just going to make it harder down the line for future generations to take nicknames because all of them have been used up. Other words, Slither, Nagini, those were choices. That's really about it. Cyanide, Ouroboros, Medusa. I talked about this the last time we did a snake. When did we last do a snake? Because it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but in my mind I'm like, there hasn't been a snake since Arbok. Like, I know that's not right. But Shang Tsung was a thing I was thinking about because its animality is him turning into a snake. And although I like that idea, I still think I'd rather not use it. Maybe for someone else that's like more soul steely instead of a snake. I don't know, that's just my choice. And then the first thing I thought of was I thought of the idea of Slinky as a nickname, and I was like, I kind of want to give someone that nickname. And the first one that came to mind was Seviper, because Seviper's all like springy and squished up and stuff like that. So my mind was like, yeah, Seviper's a Slinky. That's not the best nickname, but it's kind of just what my mind went to. I'm down for any better ideas. It's weird because I feel like snake nicknames, although you would think this would be like super easy and that there'd be tons of, there's not that many options actually. It's really weird. So any and all suggestions you have for Seviper, put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. And if this didn't help you, maybe check out something like Arbok just to see if that episode might be a little bit more help for you. And then whatever this other mysterious snake Pokemon is that I can't seem to think of that I know we did not that long ago. Like it was either Hoenn or Johto. My mind says more Hoenn. I just can't think of what.